Namaste guys, welcome to the class. Let's begin in the mountain pose at the forward end of our mat. You can step or stand in the mountain pose with feet hip-width apart or together. Toes touching and the heels slightly angled outward. Just stand upright, hips in neutral, lengthening your spine, shoulders back and down, lifting out from your sternum and lift out from the top of your head as well. Just stand here quietly for a while. Just do your deep breathing, complete yoga breathing. And just stay focused and relaxed. Just preparing yourself, calming down your mind. Just always remember, always move slowly and with awareness within the range of your comfort. Taking care to be aligned and practice with safety. Never forcing your body into a pose. Just focus on your breath. Now as you exhale, place your hands in prayer position. As you inhale, raise your arms up. Do a gentle back arch if you like, reaching up and back, lengthening your spine. Then as you exhale, coming down into your forward fold. Just stay in the forward fold. You can bend your knees, just warming up your legs, your hips, your spine. Now as you exhale, back to center, bend your knees and slowly unroll one vertebrae after the other. Just keeping your arms and shoulders relaxed, slowly straightening up. Raise your arms up and back, lengthen the spine. And exhale, bending forward again, coming into your forward fold. Bend your knees again. Just feel the stretch in your back. The back of your hips. Now bend your knees back to the center. Slowly unroll as you inhale. Coming up. Reaching up and back. Exhale. Coming down with your back straight. Hands to the floor. Bend your knees alternately. Now place your hands on the floor, shoulder width apart, and then step back into your plank. And let's warm up our hands. Do some circles over your hands and wrists. If you like, you can lower your knees as well. Come into a kneeling plank. Make sure you don't collapse into your shoulders. Now reverse the rotation. Remember to press firmly into the base of your index finger, not letting it lift or come off the floor. So we're engaging our abdominals as well, warming it up. Then move forward and back. Placing more weight to the front part of your wrists, your hands. Now bring your knees down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Now place the backs of your hands on the floor. And then lean back. Bring your buttocks towards your feet, your heels. Then moving forward and back. Just feel the stretch. If you want, you can move your hands slightly closer towards your knees to lessen the pressure on your wrists. Place your palms but fingers pointing towards your knees. And then same, lean back, allow your wrists or your palms to come off the floor, like slowly peeling it off. If you had the extra flexibility, you can bend your elbows a little bit to increase the stretch, or you can do alternating as well. One more. Okay. Now place your hands on the floor and exhale, fold back into your downward facing dog and just stay here for a while. You can pedal your feet again, bending your knees. Feel the stretch, increase length in your hamstrings. Make sure you're pressing the floor actively away from your body, rooting firmly into the base of your index finger. You can shift your hips side to side as well. Then back to center and stay steady in the pose. Focus on your breath. And from here we'll move into our first sequence or workout actually. Slowly as you inhale, rolling forward, heels up, rolling forward into the plank. Lean forward, knees down, come into your kneeling plank. And then bend your elbows coming into kneeling chaturanga, but only bend as far as you can go. Then pressing back up. And then bending your elbows again. Make sure your elbows are drawn in. Coming back up. Just to build strength in your arms and shoulders. Pressing up into plank. And then bend your knees coming into the hovering child pose, keeping your knees hovering above the floor and not touching. Engaging your legs, your quads. Coming back into down dog. Rolling forward again as you inhale. Lean forward. Bring your knees to the floor. Then continue into your chaturanga. If you want, you can come down a little bit lower. Or just stay halfway maybe, going back down. Okay, last one. Then pressing back up. Knees off the floor, and then coming into your child's pose with knees hovering above the floor. Try to stay steady in this pose. And then back near down dog. And we'll do that one more time, and then we'll add a little bit after it. Slowly as you inhale, roll forward into the plank. Continue leaning forward. Bring your knees to the floor, and then back into your chaturanga. Pressing up. Back down. Make sure your elbows are above the wrists and not splaying outward. One more time. As much as possible, try not to collapse into the floor, back into the plank, and then into your child's pose, hovering above the ground. Then back into your downward facing dog. Just rest. And then knees down. Sit on your heels and rest your hands first before we move on to the next variation sequence rather. Okay. Squeeze or press into the wrist notches, make a light fist, and rotate your fist, your wrist rather. Reverse. Other hand. Reverse the rotation. Okay. Now extend your arms, your hands back to the floor. Come into your down dog. Now this time we'll be keeping one leg straight. Come roll into your plank. Bring your left knee to the floor and slowly bending your elbows. Lowering your body. Coming back up. One more time. Back up. Last one. Pressing up. Back into your hovering child pose. Then back to the down dog. Now we'll do the other side, keeping the left leg straight, bending or keeping the right knee on the floor. As you inhale, roll forward into your plank. Lean forward, right knee to the floor, keep your left leg bent, left leg straight rather. And then down. Pressing up. Exhaling down. Coming up. Down. Press up. Knees off the floor and back into your hovering child's pose. Back to your down dog. Now we'll do with in full plank and then going into the full chaturanga. Or if you want, you can just do the kneeling chaturanga as well. Slowly inhale, roll forward. Continue tipping forward. And then down into chaturanga. You can just come down up to here or lower. Pressing up. Slowly tipping forward again. Lower. Pressing back up into plank. Shoulders above the wrists. Last one. And then down. If you want to stay here, you can go lower or full and hold and press up. And then down dog. Knees to the floor. And sit back and rest your wrists and palms. Rotate your hands, your wrists, other hand. Now make fists, place your fists against each other. Place the backs of your fists on the floor. Maybe come into the tabletop and then lower your elbows. Slowly straighten. Try to straighten them as much as you can. Feeling your extensors getting stretched. Try to bend your elbows outward. Okay, now the backs of your hands, fingers pointing towards your knees, and then move back. Stretch them a little bit more, or you can just stay in the knuckles or fist position. Okay. Now place your hands back into to the front, come into your plank, and then fold back into your downward facing dog. Now we'll do it step by step, pose by pose, and then we'll combine them into a short sequence. From the down dog, raise your right leg up, three-legged down dog. Slowly bring your right knee towards your chest, round your back, bring your right knee towards the left. If you can only bring it here, that's fine. And then straighten the right leg. It would be good if you can bring it further forward. From here, transfer your weight to your right hand. Roll to the inside of your left foot and lift your hips up. opening up your body into the fallen triangle. It's like very similar to the wild thing, which we will do later. And then from here, left hand down, bring your right leg in, and slowly transfer the weight to the left hand and roll to the outer edge of your left foot. You could place your right foot on the floor in front of you on the body, and then come into your side plank. If you want, you can come onto your tiptoes of your right foot, or balance. Place your right foot stacking on top, or to your knees. Now bring your right hand down, come back into the plank. Now let's switch over to the right side, coming into the wild thing. So to prepare, coming into the wild thing, just sit with the left foot on the floor and right leg extended. And then right hand on the floor. From here, lift, pressing into your left foot. Coming up into the wild thing, rock star or flip dog. Different names for this pose. Trying to bring your moving, opening up your left shoulders back and facing the body up. And then coming back down. And then we'll repeat this several times. Now let's come back into our down dog. And then we'll do it on the other side. Raise the left leg up. Bring your left knee forward. Bring it to the right elbow. And straighten your right leg, left leg. And slowly come up into your fallen triangle. Keeping both legs straight, left arm straight, right arm straight as well. Right hand back to the floor, left knee in, roll to the outside of your right leg, right foot, then coming into your side plank. If you want, you can just place your left toe or foot on the floor. Now left hand on the floor, switch to the other side, and left foot down, and then let's come into the wild thing prep. Sitting down, you can just sit down completely on your buttocks or keep it hovering. Right arm extend, slowly lift your hips up, pressing into your right foot as well, not collapsing into your shoulders. And bend. So we will be doing this several times. And then back to your downward facing dog. Bring your knees down and rest your elbows. Stretch out your arms, your hands. Stretch them out, fingers extend. Let's do the wrist rotation again. So now we've broken up, we got the alignments together. We'll combine them into a short sequence and then add a few poses after that. Other hand. Now come back into your downward facing dog. Raise the right leg up. Slowly bring it to your chest. Point it to the left elbow. Straighten your right leg. Then coming up into your fallen triangle. Trying to lift, bring your hips forward and up, and your left shoulder back. Left hand to the floor, leg in, turn, come to your side plank. You can bring your foot inside or to your knee. Make sure you're not collapsing into your left shoulder. Now bring your right hand down, come into your plank, and then roll to the outside of your right leg. Bring your left foot behind on the floor, bending your left knee. You can hover your buttocks and slowly press up into your rock star. Let's do this like 5 times. Sitting down, pointing the left hand towards the foot, scooping it up and back. Inhaling up. Exhale. Last one. Then from here, come back into your side plank, lift your left leg, and slowly step it forward. Then coming into your warrior one, or high lunge, and then hold this pose, and let your hands release the tension. Try to keep your back leg straight and active. Draw your lower ribs in. Lengthen the back of your ribs. And then lower your right heel to the floor, right foot angled out. Align your heels to each other. Then come into your warrior two. Keep your left knee directly above the left ankle. And open your hips. Keep your shoulders aligned to your hips and your arms in the same plane as the shoulders. And slowly straighten your left leg. Tip your hips to the right and folding down to the left into your extended triangle. Make sure you open your hips to the front, your right hip up and back, and keep your spine straight. You can use a block if you need to place underneath your lower hand, or just simply rest it on your shin. You can do a micro bend in your left leg. And then bring your hands back down to the floor. Come into a three-legged down dog. Raising the left leg up. And then bring it in towards your chest. Point it towards the right elbow. And then straighten your left leg. And coming up into your fallen triangle. Try to keep steady. Bring your right hand down, bring your left knee in, then come into your side plank. Make sure you're hugging the muscles around your elbows to protect your joint, and press the floor away firmly from your body, not collapsing into your right shoulder. And press firmly into the index finger. Now left hand down, come back into your plank. Roll to the left, outside of your left leg. Right foot to the back. And sitting down lightly. And slowly inhale up into the wild thing. Exhale, sitting down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Two more times. Last one. And slowly try to step your right foot forward. Coming into your high lunge or warrior one. Make sure hips are squared and your right knee above your ankles. Draw your lower ribs in, lengthen your spine. Try to keep your back leg active. Slow down your breathing. Now come into your warrior two. Lower your left heel to the floor. Allow your shoulders to your hips and your arms to your shoulders. Try to slow down your breath. Slowly straighten your right leg, leaning forward, keeping your spine straight. Coming into your extended triangle. Make sure your spine is straight and lengthening, not rounding on the left ribs. Now bring your hands back down, three-legged down dog, and then feet down. Stay for a while in the downward dog. Then from here, walk your hands back. Slowly unroll. Come into your mountain pose. Exhale, hands down to your chest. Inhale, raise your arms up. Then exhale, swan diving down. And just stay in the forward fold. Bend your knees. And just rest your hands. You've been taking on quite a lot of weight, pressure on your wrists especially. Now bend your right knee and keep your left leg bent. Place your right hand in the middle, in front of you, maybe 1 or less than a foot away, or you can use a block. Just make sure your spine is straight. Slowly open up and twist the left side, raising your left arm up. Make sure your spine is straight and not folding forward. If you are unable, you can use a block, place it underneath your right hand. And let's do the other side. Bend the left knee, keep your right leg straight, hand on the floor, and then twist. Then back down, bend your knees, slowly unroll, one more time. Exhaling down. Now let's get back on our hands. Inhale, raise your arms up. Arch back, slowly folding down. Forward fold, inhale up halfway. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Bring your knees down. And we'll be doing some abdominal or core workout. Place your hands, or you can use yoga blocks. This would be very beneficial if you have 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, then, or maybe you only have 1, then maybe you can find something similar like books or something similarly shaped and sturdy. Now sit on your legs, your heels, and then place the blocks around halfway through your legs, and place your hands on top. So we'll be doing pelvic raises, pelvic lifts. Okay. You can place your hands as the ground, the base on the floor. So lifting makes it easier for this exercise and for other exercise after this. Or you can place your hands to the forward end and gripping the block with your fingers at the front. So this will lessen the stretching of the flexors. Allow your hands, your fingers to be more relaxed. So from here, keep your arms straight, leaning forward, and then lifting. Keeping your toes on the floor, the tops of your toes on the floor. Just bringing your knees towards your chest. And slowly lowering down. Make sure you're not hunching your shoulders. Try to keep the shoulders away from your ears. Slowly pressing down again. Bring your knees in. If you can only come up here, that's fine. Just work with what strength you have and then improve. You can bring it all the way up to your chest and slowly lowering with control. So you will be engaging your abdominals quite a lot, and you will be drawing chest in as well. So this will be a preparation for like the rounding plank and the crow. Let's lift it up 2 more times and slowly lower. If you have the strength, you can lift a bit higher. So it 1 more time. Draw your knees in and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Shake out your arms, your hands. So we'll be stepping this up a little bit by lifting our buttocks higher if you can. If you don't have the strength yet, then you can just continue doing the same exercise as we've been doing. Place your hands back on the blocks, pressing down, shoulders engaged, lifting your knees to your chest, and then lifting your hips. If you can only lift up to here, that's fine. If you can lift off all the way up, try not to bring your the base of the tripod on the floor. Try to keep it resting on top of your toes. And then back down. Rest for a while. Let's do this 3 more times. Pressing down, lifting, knees up, buttocks up. Slowly lowering with control. Try to do it slowly. Helps build more strength. Let's do it 1 more time. Pressing up. Slowly bend, lowering your knees back to the floor. Okay. Shake your arms out, your hands. So now we'll try to lift our feet off the floor into the Lolasana or the pendulum pose. Hands back on the block, pressing down, engage shoulders. Slowly draw your abdomen in, lift your knees, and try to lift one leg off the floor and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Raise the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And lower back to the floor. Now let's try to lift it, both feet. If not, then you can continue with 1 foot lift. Pressing back down. Lift. Try to lift both. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And shake your arms out. Hands back on the blocks. Then we'll do the Tolasana. Try to come into your like Sukhasana pose, sitting in between the blocks. If you want, you can move, scoot forward a little bit. Place your hands, or you can place your hands in the middle. And from here, just try to press your body up. Releasing down, pressing back up, down. Make sure you're not collapsing into your shoulders. Keep your shoulders engaged. Just bend your elbows. And back down. rest your arms a little bit before we do the next one. From here, pressing up, chest open. Then try to lift your feet off the floor. If this is difficult, then let's work on one leg at a time. Sit in your staff pose. Maybe scoot forward so that your hands are beside your hips. Now press up and then try to raise one leg at a time. Make sure you're not hunching your shoulders. Keep the chest open. And down, raise the left leg. And down. Right leg up. And down. Left leg up. And then back down. And shake your hands again. So we'll try now lifting both legs. Or if not, then you can just do cross your legs, try to lift one leg, 1 foot at a time, and lift. So if you want to do this, or with the leg straight, then do whichever is preferable for you. From here, slowly lift up, then lift the legs. You can bend, come into your pendulum. And slowly down. And shake your hands. So I promise you this is the last time. So let's shake it out, stretch it out a little bit. Let's do some seated cat-cow. Inhale, expand your chest. Then exhale, rounding your middle upper back. Stretching your hands. Inhaling up. And exhale. Inhaling up and stretching, arching back. Exhale, separate. And shake your hands again. Let's do the wrist rolls. Try to catch your breath as well to prepare for the next pose, which is the crow pose. Other hand. Place the backs of your hands on the floor and slowly sit back. Feel the stretch. Move forward a bit further forward if you need to. Feel a bit more stretch. So this will prepare us for a little bit more intense hand or weight bearing pose, the Kakasana or the crow pose. Okay. Now let's use blocks to help us out, especially if you don't have the strength yet for a crow pose. You can place one block in front of you, pointing forward, or medium height if you like. Whichever, this depends on each person's body structure and how they perform. So you'll figure out which height is for you. You can just keep your feet on the floor, or you can elevate your standing position. Step on top of the block and then place your hands on the floor. Bring your knees apart, feet together, hands on the floor and slightly wider than your shoulders. Make sure you're rooting firmly into the index. And for like the easiest version or way to get into or hold the crow is to simply have the knees on the outside, resting. The inside of your knees are pressing against the elbows. Or on the other side, it's like this. Okay. Although crow pose, you want the instructions generally are elbows as high up of the triceps towards the armpits, or you can bring it directly in line with the elbows. But for easy variation, just bring your arms to the inside of your knees and your hands slightly wider. Make sure you're not collapsing into the outside of your wrists or hands rather. Press firmly. So for starters, you can also start with the forehead already touching the resting on the block. And from here, lift your feet off. You can do one foot at a time, then the other foot, and then both. So that's one way. Or if you are going to bring your knees on behind your triceps or in line with the elbows, then you will have to move the block further away. Depends on you actually, just adjust accordingly. And maybe you want the hands slightly closer as well. Place the forehead and then lift. You can just hold this pose with the blocks. If you lack the strength yet, then don't force it. Just keep holding it with the support. And gradually you will build your strength, and then maybe lift your head off the block. And then come down. Let's rest our hands a little bit. Before we continue. We'll do this one more time, and then we'll start winding down. Let's do this one more time. Hands on the floor. Position your knees however you like. If you still find this difficult, you can use a strap to help you out. If you find it difficult to keep the arms, the elbows in place, then use strap. Make it like around shoulder width apart, or adjust it according to how much space you need. Okay? Then place your hands on the floor, and you can place your knees on the outside or where the strap is, or where your elbow is. Bring your forehead on the floor and lift. So this is actually easier because you don't need to engage too many muscles actually to keep your elbows in place. Then you can lift your forehead. This will train you to hold the pose in a better shape. Then lower, and then set the strap aside, set the blocks aside. Sit on your feet. Just rest your hands. Stretch the hand extensors. Slow down your breathing. If you want, you can also sit in Virasana, knees together and feet to the outside, or you can use a yoga block. Now raise your arms up. Keep your spine lengthening, and then we'll do a side stretch. Left hand to the floor. Keep your chest facing to the front and bend to the left side. Inhale, raise your arms up. Bend to the other side. Back to the left. Exhale. Back to center. Now let's twist to the right side. Left hand to the outside of your right knee, and then reach your right arm all the way to the back, opening your chest to the right side. Or you can place your right hand, fingers lightly on the floor behind you. Just hold the pose. Try not to tense up your left arm and shoulder too much though. Try to make use of your oblique muscles on the sides of your body. Hold your body in place. Inhale back to raise your arms up. Now let's stretch to the left side. Right hand to the outside of your left knee. and then stretch. Try to release the leverage or pressure a little bit, or place your left hand to the floor and keep your obliques engaged. Make sure your spine is straight and lengthening going up, not rounding your back. And back to the center. Exhale, hands down. Bring your feet back to the center. Inhale, raise your arms. And exhale, rounding down. Inhale, arch. And exhale. Inhaling up. And then resting in your child's pose. You can just stay here, just relax, or if you prefer, you can come on your back in Savasana and just hold the pose and stay here as long as you like. Just focus on your breath. Release all the tension in your shoulders, especially your hands and wrists. Keep them facing up. Release the tension in your back as well. Just relax.